Everyone is probably telling you that you need to get on Medicare because you're turning 65. Some do and some do not. In today's video, we're going to tell you why you should not get on Medicare and why you should actually delay Medicare, and you don't have to worry about being penalized or anything like that. Millions and millions of Americans are working past the age of 65. They're like, I feel great. I feel healthy. Why should I stop working? And I don't blame you. If you want to keep working, you feel, healthy and nice and young, then yeah, definitely keep working. Why not? So in today's video, we're going to break down the individuals that should definitely get on Medicare and the ones that should not get on Medicare. You want to delay Medicare, and this is going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars by actually staying put, not doing anything whatsoever, and enjoy your golden years. We're going to give you a clear path on what direction you can go. We know Medicare can be so confusing. So many mail you're getting from insurance carriers and calls. The minute you turn 65, actually probably 6 months before you're turning 65, you're getting calls and you're getting mail. And everyone is telling you, enroll, 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 so you don't get penalized. It's the scare tactic. But I'm going to assure you today, I'm going to give you some relief, and I'm going to definitely let you know what direction you should go. Some should absolutely enroll in Medicare, and some should not. So let's get right into it. Okay, so for this part of the video, we're going to focus on you do not need to enroll in Medicare. You could go ahead and delay Medicare, okay? Unfortunately, Medicare doesn't tell you this. Medicare doesn't send out a letter, nothing. They don't tell you these are the do's, the don'ts. You just have to kind of know. But I got you in today's video. So the first, you do not need to enroll in Medicare. You can go ahead and delay it, is if you're still working, obviously, right? You're still working and you have health insurance group coverage through your employer, 20 or more employees. Of course, I highly recommend that you compare the two, and if your health insurance is better or just as good as Medicare, then yeah, you don't have to get on Medicare. As long as you have health insurance, you are good to go ahead and delay. And you don't have to reach out to Medicare. You don't have to let Medicare know you want to delay it. You can just keep doing what you're doing and go about your day. Okay, so let's talk about what you should do though if you want to delay Medicare. So every year, your insurance carrier, HR, from your job should let you know that you have credible health insurance coverage. You want to keep that mail for your record, just in case you retire and that company don't exist anymore, right? Because when you enroll in Medicare later on, after you retire, then you want to show proof that you did in fact had health insurance, okay? So there's a form that you fill out. You fill out a section, HR fill out a section to say, hey, yes, this person had or does have credible health insurance, right? You take that to the Social Security office and then you're fine. You don't have to worry about any penalties. But if that company was to go bankrupt or go out of business, there's no HR. There's no HR, right? So you want to just keep record of that just in case you have to provide that on your own. You do not have to continue or transition into Medicare. But like I said, you do want to compare your plan. Look at your co-pays, look at your deductibles, look at your max out of pocket. Compare that with Medicare. So sit with an independent broker that you trust and compare it. And from there, you should know what you should do. Should you go ahead and enroll in Medicare or should you delay Medicare? Okay, the next scenario is that your spouse is working and you're on your spouse health insurance. Basically, the same scenario from the first scenario. You still want to compare and see what is better. If your spouse health insurance is cheaper for them to have insurance on themselves, but it's a lot more expensive to cover you, then you may want to go ahead and get on Medicare. So yes, you definitely want to compare, but you do not have to get off of your spouse's health insurance. Same rules apply, 20 or more employees, and the health insurance is credible health insurance, meaning it's just as good or maybe even better than Medicare, okay? So definitely compare. And yeah, if your spouse have health insurance, you do not have to get on Medicare if your spouse is going to continue to cover you under their group health insurance plan. Remember, 20 or more employees. And also remember that you want to compare the costs, okay? So it may be cheaper for you to go ahead and go on Medicare and your spouse continue with the insurance plan through work. Please take a moment to like this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you are enjoying the content. It really helps others to find this video and it helps the channel a lot. Thank you so much. Moving along. Now this scenario I feel like is not talked about enough. I actually had an individual come into the office, which is the reason why I'm making this video, if I'm going to be honest. So I had an individual come into the office, turning 65 next month, and he's a high earner. He makes over $200,000 per year. And he was like, everyone is telling me I need to get on Medicare. I do have work insurance. It's 20 or more employees. It's credible health insurance coverage. What should I do? So we sat down and we compared, and I told him it did not make sense for him to go on Medicare. Not because he is working. That was not the reason. It was because he's a high earner and he would pay a lot more than the average Medicare Part B premium. Okay, this is key to compare this. Okay, so what is IRMAA? IRMAA is a chart that determines how much you actually pay for Medicare Part B. If you're less than $100,000 a year, you pay the standard Part B premium. In his case, his IRMAA was over $500 a month. But yes, and also he had a premium for Medicare Part D as well, which is for your prescriptions. So he was looking at over $600 per month to go on Medicare. His work insurance was only $45 a pay period, and his insurance max out of pocket was only $6,000 for the year. If something, God forbid, did happen, his max is $6,000. However, he is a healthy individual that goes to the doctor twice a year. So when we look at all of this, is it worth paying $600 for health insurance that you're really not going to use if you're a healthy individual? In my opinion, no. It makes no sense to enroll in Medicare at this time. I did not say delay Medicare because you're working. I say delayed it because you can save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars with just staying on your employer's health insurance. Now, if the individual was very sick, had a lot of health conditions, and he needed more support as far as like managing his health problems, then maybe that would be a different story. Maybe it would make sense for him to go ahead and enroll in Medicare Part A and B. So you definitely want to compare it, especially if you're a high earner. Just because you could afford it doesn't mean you should actually pay that much of a premium if you don't have to right now. Of course, when he retires, then he has to get on Medicare. That is a fact, right? Or he'll get penalized. Of course, I don't want him to be penalized. So of course he will see me when he's ready for retirement, and he can actually sit down with his financial advisor and decide what should he do in the next 2 years when it comes to working. Should he decrease his hours so that way he won't have to pay a higher IRMAA amount? He won't have to pay a higher Part B premium due to his high income? Should he cut back as he's approaching retirement when it comes to his income. So these are some of the things you may want to ask yourself if you are a high earner. Maybe it doesn't make sense to cut back because you're making more. So you may want to sit down with a financial advisor if you are a high earner as you are approaching your retirement years. So yeah. The fourth reason where you may want to stay put and not get on Medicare, meaning you want to delay Medicare, if you have a health savings account and you also have good health insurance at work. Once you go on into Medicare, you should not be contributing to your H.S.A. account. Actually, you're not supposed to. You can't. You have to let go of that account. So if you want to continue to contribute to your H.S.A. account, your health savings account, then I highly recommend that you delay Medicare. Of course, decide what makes more sense. Do you want to continue to contribute to your health savings account, or do you want to go ahead and enroll in Medicare? Even if you wanted to go ahead and delay Medicare Part B and get on Medicare Part A, you still need to be cautious because you're going to be limited on contributing to your health savings account. You have to definitely consider that as well. So if you want to continue on your health savings account and you have good health insurance, credible health insurance through your employer, 20 or more employees, then I would go ahead and delay enrolling in Medicare Part A and Part B. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the individuals that absolutely should consider enrolling in Medicare, okay? Some of them is a definite, you need to get on Medicare so you don't get penalized. And some of them is more like, I recommend that you get on Medicare. So let's get started. The first one is probably obvious at this point. If you don't have any health insurance, you need to enroll in Medicare when you turn 65. You do not want to go without health insurance and not enroll in Medicare, because if you do that, once you do enroll in Medicare, you're going to be faced with a penalty, and we don't want that, okay? So if you don't have health insurance, you need to go ahead and enroll in Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, and you need a drug plan as well. So yeah, you need to go ahead and enroll in Medicare. The next individual that definitely need to go ahead and enroll in Medicare is if there's less than 20 employees at your job. Even if your job is offering you health insurance, you need to go ahead and enroll in Medicare if there's 19 employees or less. So if it's less than 20, then yeah, you need to go ahead and enroll in Medicare. You do not want to face a penalty. It's going to cost you a lot more. So you might as well go ahead and enroll in Medicare. The next individual that definitely need to go ahead and enroll in Medicare, if you're still working, but the health insurance at your job is not good, it's not a good plan. You have a high deductible, you have a high max out of pocket, you have high copays. You go into the emergency room or you go into urgent care and they're like, you need to pay all this before we can even see you because your deductible is so high. Then yeah, I would definitely go ahead and enroll in Medicare because you would not have those issues on Medicare, okay? So if you don't have great insurance through your employer, even if your employer's health insurance is very affordable, if it's not great insurance, then I would not stay on that insurance. I would go ahead and enroll in Medicare. So it's definitely important to compare plans, or if you know already off the bat that your health insurance is not that great, then I would definitely go ahead and enroll in Medicare. The next individual that I will recommend that you go on Medicare is this scenario. You're turning 65, your spouse is a lot younger than you, and like I said, health insurance is not that great. I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and enroll in Medicare. I would not keep my health insurance just to keep spouse on the plan, and go ahead and look at ACA market plans for the younger spouse, okay? Especially if that younger spouse is fairly healthy, then yeah, I would definitely go on Medicare because you're turning 65 and get private health insurance or marketplace health insurance for the younger spouse. Okay, so the next individual that may want to consider getting on Medicare is if you're automatically enrolled in Medicare, right? Say you started Social Security at the age of 62 you automatically get Medicare at the age of 65 because you're in the Social Security system. So they would just automatically enroll you. Say you automatically enrolled and you have work as well, like you're still working, you have work insurance. What do you do in that situation? Of course, you want to compare it and decide what you want to do. You can let Medicare know, hey, I'm actually going to delay Medicare because I have employer's health insurance. Or you could go ahead and continue on with the automatic enrollment and let your employer know that you have health insurance through Medicare. They could go ahead and take you off of the employer's health insurance. This is a special reason why HR can go ahead and take you off your employer's coverage if you're going to go ahead and enroll in Medicare. So if you're automatically enrolled in Medicare and the cost of it is pretty much the same as your job and you feel like Medicare is better, then you might as well just go ahead and get on Medicare. But you can also delay it if you're going to continue on with your work insurance. Let's talk about Tricare for life. So if you have Tricare for life, this is one of the best insurances on the planet, okay? I don't care what nobody says. I think Tricare for life is great coverage. However, you do still need to enroll in Medicare Part A and in Medicare Part B, okay? If you do not enroll in Medicare Part A and B, then Tricare will not continue on with your coverage. So if you have Tricare for life, go ahead and enroll in Medicare Part A and B, and then you could, get coverage through the VA, and you can also get coverage through, doctors outside of the VA as well, because you have Medicare and you also have Tricare for life. Great insurance, by the way. Let's talk about VA coverage, okay? A lot of individuals would get VA. VA coverage is also great. Thank you for your service, okay? A lot of individuals would get on VA and swear up and down they would never use doctors outside of the VA. Unfortunately, years later, a lot of individuals do regret this decision because they actually want to see doctors outside of the VA. They want more options. They want more choices. And I don't blame you. For this, I highly recommend that you still enroll in Medicare Part A and B, even if you have VA coverage. Trust me, your older self, your future self will thank you later, okay? I know you may not want to pay the Part B premium. I understand that. However, I do recommend that you do enroll in Medicare Part A and B. And there are other ways you can help with that Part B premium, such as getting on a Medicare Advantage plan with a give back and extra benefits, such as dental, vision, and hearing. And some of these give back plans will pay most, if not all, of your Part B premium. So you can check that out if that is available in your area. I always want to have this disclaimer. It's not available in every state, the give back plans, but it's something that you may want to look into if you have VA coverage, because I highly recommend that you do enroll in Medicare Part A and B with your VA, okay? Yeah. The next scenario is definitely if you have Cobra insurance, whether you got Cobra because you lost your job through termination or you quit or whatever the reason is. I definitely recommend that you go ahead and get on Medicare. Cobra is so much more expensive, so it's best that you get on Medicare anyways. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and enroll in Medicare if you're on Cobra insurance. Like I said, Cobra is so expensive. All right, so let's talk about the last scenario where I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and get on Medicare, and then we're going to talk about the penalties as well. So stay to the end, okay? So this individual would be individuals that have private health insurance, a short-term medical plan. If you have a H.S.A plan, also known as Marketplace, also known as Obamacare. If you have a Christian cost share plan, any of these is not considered credible coverage when it comes to Medicare. So you need to go ahead and get off of that insurance and go ahead and enroll in Medicare, okay? You cannot stay on H.S.A, private plans, any of these plans that I just mentioned. You do, in fact, need to go on Medicare when you turn 65, or you will definitely be penalized when you decide to go on Medicare. Alrighty, so let's talk about the penalty really quick. And this is not to scare you. This is to empower you. This is to educate you on the reality if you delay Medicare when you should not, okay? So there are 2 penalties that you do not want. So the first one is Medicare Part B, which is your medical coverage. So if you go without Medicare Part B, every year that you did not enroll in Medicare, you would be penalized 10%, okay? So you don't want that, okay? So if you went without Medicare for, let's say, 3 years, you'd be penalized 30% on top of your monthly premium, and you have to pay that 30% for the remaining of your life. Not worth it. That could be hundreds of dollars that you end up paying Medicare just because you did not enroll on time, okay? And some individuals ask, well, why are they penalizing us? It's because they know that as you get older, you need health insurance coverage. As you get older and sicker, chances are you're going to need health care, and health care is very expensive. So they want individuals that's turning 65, that's eligible for Medicare, to help with that cost by paying the monthly premium. So yeah, you do not want to be penalized. It could be very costly, so don't do that, okay? Please enroll in Medicare on time. The next penalty we're going to talk about is Medicare Part D, not getting on a prescription drug plan because you didn't have credible health insurance coverage, credible drug coverage, right? It's very important to enroll in Medicare Part D when you're supposed to as well. If you don't, you would get penalized for 1% for every month of the Part D national cost, the average cost. Say the average cost is like $35, right? So they'll add 1% to that amount for every month you did not enroll. You do not need that. You don't want that, okay? Now, if you did not enroll in Medicare Part D for maybe a year or so, then the penalty is not that much. It's only 1%. Just go ahead and enroll Part D. Do not delay it even further because you have a penalty. Just go ahead and enroll, and it'll be a lot less if you do have to pay a penalty because you just didn't know. You didn't know. Unfortunately, sometimes that is the case for individuals. They just did not know. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you learned something new today. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you know anyone that needs this information, please share this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. If you need any assistance, give our office a call. We'll be more than happy to assist you. At the end of today's video, there are 2 videos that you can also watch. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to see me again, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.